how would they define violent? Like over time, the number of wars, or what?
Numbers of wars, homicide rates, that kind of thing.
So they dug up some data on violence and left-handedness in 3 different tribal societies. Then they went out and did their own throat research with 500 people.
And they find this beautiful correlation. The least violent society in their sample had 3% less wars. The most violent societies in their sample, tribal societies in New Guinea, notoriously had rates of left-handedness about 25%.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. Yeah. So it seems to be true. No.
Here's the thing, that track in New Guinea that had 3 times as many lefties as you would expect, that was data that they looked up in the library. But when computer science actually went in the field and checked it, they found no evidence that lefties overrun the women.
It wasn't.
According to this study,
in which these traits evolved, there were no reliable data. So we use reproductive opportunities as a proxy for reproductive success.
And then, okay, it's starting to make sense to me now.
How could I lovingly say that sounds like total garbage?
You'd think David would love this idea. He's the lover of lefties, but no.
It's just, there's too much biology at play here. And too much ancient, prehistoric biology at play for it to matter as much as your dear English professor friend wants it to matter.
But here's the thing. Whether or not this has been proven scientifically, personally, I know it's true. You know, I know it's true because I experienced it. I know it's true in a way that statistics can't touch. You know, I know it's true from being in that cage, having the undoubtable truth just pounded into my brain, literally, by my friend Nick. You know, I know it's true.
I mean, it's so fun. These kind of things are so fun because it's so easy, right? I mean, who doesn't love an easy answer? But after this year plus investigating this topic,
David says about halfway through writing this book, this whole candidness puzzle kind of flipped. Instead of worrying about why lefties have stuck around, he started to wonder about that 90-10 number. Like, why in humans do lefties only make up 10% of the population when in pretty much every other creature on Earth,
this asymmetry is random. In other words, it's a coin flip whether a monkey in South America is going to be left or right-handed.
several studies have shown that it's about 50-50 in cats, same is true for dogs. People have looked at mice, toads, various kinds of birds, and all of them have a pretty even split.
It looks like what is unique to humanity is the 90-10.
So how did we end up at 90-10?
Well, one of the strongest theories for the origins of handedness hooks handedness onto left hemisphere dominance for speech.
The idea, says David, is that humans are way back in the day, so these would be like early humans, pre-human ancestors, were 50-50s. That is, they were 50% righty, they were 50% lefty, like all the other animals in the forest. So the things that our brains were doing back then were also even on both sides. So the motor cortex on the left controlled the right hand, the motor control on the right controls the left hand, it still does. But then,
At some point in our evolutionary history,
language begins to develop.
and there was this shift in brain organization.
The part of the brain that controlled speech, I don't know why this happened, but it began to move over to the left side of our brain. According to one theory, that shift ended up making the left side of our brains better at motor control. Because think about what speech is. I'm going to say, let's pick a pair of pickled peppers. My tongue, my lips, my teeth are all in a medley of complex motion there.
And
That is all about motor control. So the left side of my brain is doing that, and it's getting bigger and stronger. As the species gets more and more speechy, it gets more and more left brain or right hand.
But you're saying that as speech grows on our left side, the motor cortex grows on our left side. And since the left motor cortex controls the right hand, the end result is a bias to the right.
Yes.
but weirdly, buried somewhere deep in our DNA, still
Is this gene that confers the chance to become left-handed.
which results in about 10% of the population being lefties.
But they're not dwindling, though. They just seem to stick there.
Well, they don't seem to be dwindling in the blink of an eye. That is
We're not.
the time we've been looking.
We're not
at this.
dwindling.
But you know what I mean?
Shut up, lefty.
Or whatever. Maybe there's just, you're just still around because you're like a vestige of what we used to be.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll call my, as soon as my kids are old enough I'll tell them that daddy's a vestige.
Which sort of brought us back to our original question. Like, why aren't lefties dwindling? And when we pushed David, here's what he finally said.
I would argue because I'm a lefty and a strong left-hander, so, take many, many grains of salt.
You're
But-
arguing from pride. We understand
Of
that.
course. No, pride and a little bit of research, but I would argue that a splash of diversity within the brain as far as brain organization has had a cumulative beneficial effect for our species. Now, if you
How exactly does it mean?
Well, because if conditions on Earth should change radically, nature just likes to have a little variety in the gene pool. So if everyone's doing really well with one set of genes, and the situation changes drastically, you don't want everybody to get sick and die. So in variety, there is a slightly heightened chance of survival.
I think it's a subtle advantage to the population, but I think there's a beauty to it nevertheless. Lefties are coming at the world from a slightly different angle.
But this puts David in kind of a weird spot. Because even if lefties don't dwindle away, if sports or brain diversity or some other random reason keeps them around, they'll always be the few.
As I said in the book, I don't think this is cause for the next March on Washington, but lefties are their own special minority group.
Unless you are a parrot.
This is Coco.
Yes. Somehow I knew you guys would go for the parrot.
As it turns out,
Parrots seem to be, I think it's 90% left-handed, or left-footed, or left-clawed, left-taloned, whatever I'm supposed to call it.
Rob and I went to visit this artist named Hunt Slonim, who rescues a lot of parrots.
Cockatiel, whose name is Crayola.
And we tested 11 of his birds. So they told us that the test that they've used before is you put a piece of food on the table or on a platform, and whichever foot they pick it up with is their preferred foot.
Well, that makes sense.
We would walk up to a cage.
This is Clyde.
Hi. Greet the parrot. I'm going to give you a potato chip. Present it lift our treat, and then we would wait to see what did.
A lefty. We have a lefty.
We went to another cage, did the same thing.
A left foot.
Another lefty.
And in the end,
The final count was
so our final tally was what, 9 to 2 to 1.
9 lefty, 2 righty, and 1 went both ways.
Oh, so that is close to 90%.
Close to yes.
So if David was a parrot, he would have felt right at home.
But why do you suppose parrots are 90 to 10 the other way?
I have no I don't think anybody knows. On the other hand, they do talk a lot.
That's funny. Hi.
Hello, this is Sue.
Jonathan Gottschall.
Hello, this is David Woolman. Leading you guys the credits.
Here we go.
Video Lab is produced by Jack Boomrod,
Our staff includes
Helen Horn, Phil Wheeler,
Pat Walters,
Tim Howard,
Brenna Farrell,
Molly Webster,
Melissa O'Donnell,
Dylan Keith, James York, Lynn Levy, Andy Mills, and Kelsey Paget.
Help from Ariane Wack, Simon Adler,
and Chris Nell Thor.
Special thanks.
Special thanks to Sam Bryant and
TJ Voight, TJ Fox.
PJ Vogt. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
End of message. Supporting WHYY Car Science, featuring certified used cars reconditioned like new. No dings, dents, or scratches that come with 6 months, 6,000 miles, warranty, and no clear engine guarantee. CarSense.com. It's car sensation.
Support WHYY and see results within 1 week. It's less than Learn more at whyy.org/underwriting.
This is WHYY-FM Philadelphia, WNJN-FM 89.7 Atlantic City, WNJZ 90.3 Cape May Courthouse, WNJB-FM 89.3 Bridgeton, WNJM 89.9 Manahawkin, and WNJS-FM 88.1 Berlin.
This is WHYY. It's 1:59. I'm Mary Cummings Short. Good afternoon. Stay with us for TED Radio. What's next?
Is the TED Radio Hour. Each week, groundbreaking TED Talks.
TED.
Technology.
Entertainment. Design.
Design. Is that really what it stands for?